We're breaking down tonight's 5-game NHL slate. Let's start with favorite skater to pay up for in DFS, AJ. Go ahead, man. You look nice and warm in that beanie.
Gotta stay warm. I know you guys know this out on the East Coast, but it's still cold here in the Midwest as well. I'm going to steal Paul's thunder right off the bat, and I'm going to go with Matthews in this one tonight at 9K. You got to consider the matchup with the Devils. They've been rolling with John Gillies between the pipes, and let's be honest, he's actually looked pretty good considering he's faced the Kings, Lightning, and Hurricanes in 3 of his last 4 games. But eventually, the dam's going to break here, and I think a matchup with the Leafs is what's going to happen. I also think you consider paying up for Marner in this one. He comes in at 6,300 at morning skate today. They shuffled him up to the top line there, switching him with Andre Kasha. So Matthews and Marner back together again. So maybe take a look at stacking both these guys. I know that's pretty expensive when you consider their price tags, but the matchup here I think is just too good to pass up on them.
Okay, who are you paying up for in DFS, Paul?
I'm picking Canada by 2. Oh, shoot, just a minute. I think that's my CONCACAF notes from yesterday. Sorry about that. Favorite skaters tonight? Let's see. Fade the Oilers, I say, versus the pesky Sens. That'll resonate with my friend AJ. I think Matthews is a tempting target at $9,000, but that I can go cheaper than that in the high end for guys that I like. Better bets for me are Alexander Barkov at 7,800, even Huberdeau for 7,500 against Columbus. This is the hottest offense versus one of the poorest defenses. But also back to the Leafs, Mitch Marner, $6,300. The guy's on a 5-game goal-scoring streak. His confidence is back, and I say he lights it up tonight against a Devils team that's searching for goalies. And then Patrick Kane versus Vancouver, also a tempting bet. These last 2 guys perennially in the top 10 NHL scorers, and they're bargains tonight.
All right, Paul, how about your favorite DFS value play? You spend up, you got to save some money somewhere.
Yeah, there's a bunch of choices here, and I'll go back to the Leafs. Michael Bunting coming off a hat trick. He looked great on Saturday night. He's looked very good on Matthews' wing much of the season. 8 points his last 10 games, $3,500 the price tag. Similarly, on a top line role for $3,200, you got Brendan Hagel, 6 points in his last 6 games as left wing on the top line for Chicago. Also in that lineup, Dylan Strome has caught fire. Better than almost 2 points a game in his last 6 games played, and he's only going to cost $3,300. So I see a Chicago stack there in my mind. And then over to Detroit, Robbie Fabry, 7 points and 29 shots on goal his last 10 games, only $3,200. So there's a lot of bargains if you want to pay up for the big boys. Lots of pairing to do with the little guys.
All right, AJ, where are you looking for value here?
Yeah, I really like Carter Verhaeghe at 4,400 here. Panthers, a good matchup facing off with the Blue Jackets. They've got another morning roster shuffle here. Verhaeghe will stay on the top line with Barkov, but they're going to reunite Huberdeau on that line as well. So, I mean, I'd have been on Verhaeghe here at 4,400 just playing with Barkov. But when he gets to pair up with both Barkov and Huberdeau, I think it's just too good of a spot to be in. And I like Paul's call on Bunting as well when you consider, like I said, he's going to play with Marner and Matthews now. I think that just gives him even more value at 3,500.
AJ, let's poke over to the DK Sportsbook here. Best money line or puck line bet?
Well, I got to look. I'm actually on the opposite of Paul here. I think you look at Edmonton to cover in this one, the puck line at plus 130 here. Matt Murray has just not been good this year. I mean, he's played a little bit better since his stint in the minors, but in his last 7 games, you're still looking at a guy who's 3-2-2, 2.83 is the goals against average. Ottawa is not a walkover like they used to. They have some offensive pieces led by Tkachuk there, but Murray, I have no confidence in him at this point, and I would expect Edmonton to really roll him. They played him on January 15th. They beat him by 2, and he allowed 4 of the 6 goals that his club gave up there. So,
all right, Paul, you like any plus money here in the money line department?
I do. I'm on the Senators big time tonight. The goalie at the other end of the ice, Koskinen, is a red flag for me too. For Edmonton, he's not playing very well. You think about Murray. I think Koskinen's been way worse. Ottawa's played some big teams in the last couple of weeks, and they played them tough, winning their share. In fact. So I think they remember the fact they were dominated by Edmonton all last season. They got a bit of revenge in Edmonton earlier this season, winning that game. I think they double up tonight. And then Anaheim has had a great road trip through Canada this week, and they swing back to the USA, landing in Detroit tonight. This team this game looks a bit like a coin flip, but I still like the skilled players of the Ducks more than I do of the Red Wings, the way they're going right now. And if they start Gibson in goal in Anaheim, he's been absolutely incredible in this road trip. So I say take the visitors there.
All right, Paul, which game total do you like the best?
Oh, I love this question every time it comes up. I think the total of 5.5 is going to fall early in the Canucks' visit to Chicago. Both teams have offenses capable of putting up big numbers, but I also don't like their defenses. So that's a recipe for a big game score. The Leafs are legit big favorites to roll over the Devils, who are looking for that goalie to put in the net even with any kind of qualification. So that's a bad combination. I think the over is in jeopardy there. And then Florida scoring more goals than any other team this season. Columbus giving up more than almost anybody else. That's also a bad combo. And you can tell by the line at 6.5. I still think that's low.
All right, AJ, which game total do you like the best?
Well, Paul talked about three of them. I guess I'll talk about the other two here. Edmonton, Ottawa, both Paul and I think can finally agree on something with this game. Neither goaltender has been great. So even with the total at 6.5, I think the over makes sense in that one. And then Anaheim, Detroit, as Paul mentioned, the Ducks have been getting really good goaltending here. There's, a couple guys, Larkin, Zegras, like a couple offensive pieces there. But for the most part, I would expect this one to be a low scorer. So I would take the under at even money, even again with the low 5.5. I think the under is the spot to hit in that one.
Favorite player prop, AJ? What is it?
I mean, for me, it's got to be Matthews to score a goal. I don't see how he doesn't get one in the net tonight. Even it's not the best value on that, but I think you have to look at that one. And I would take Marner as well. I'd double down on both those guys to pick up a goal in this one. I think it'll be a high-scoring game for the Leafs.
Where are you going on this, Paul?
His birthday's coming up, AJ's, and I'm going to send him a Leaf sweater. I think he's lobbying hard today. The Florida Panthers, I think, are going to score big. Anthony Duclair has been a big part of their offense and still undervalued. I think the plus 165 to score tonight is a great payoff for him. Similarly, Brandon Hagel, plus 225 for that first line that's eating up right now for the Hawks. Great value against Vancouver. And I got to take a piece of the Leafs power play, and I had taken Willie Nylander to score. Plus 130 is his price tag. It's a little more of a payoff than Austin Matthews tonight.